In a land where the sun rises upon both stone and soul, stories were born from the breath of the Nile and the silence of the sands. Egypt, the undying, hides in its depths unseen cities and secrets that breathe between its ruins, waiting for those who still know how to listen. In this journey, we cross the borders of time to explore 6 enchanted cities woven with legend and mystery, where history and imagination become one. They say the waters of Fayoum never sleep, that Lake Karun hides beneath it a sunken city from thousands of years ago. It is whispered that this lost metropolis, a place of immense wealth and pride, defied the gods with its arrogance. In a single night, a great flood, a curse sent from the heavens, was said to have swallowed it whole, its magnificent temples and bustling markets pulled into the watery abyss. The people, it is told, were not granted the mercy of death, but were doomed to wander its submerged streets, their forms becoming one with the shadows below the waves. Fayoum, once a jewel of the kingdom, became a silent, watery grave. On nights when the moon is full, casting a silver light across the lake's surface, fishermen claim to hear faint voices rising from below. They speak of distant chants, the muffled tolling of bells, and sorrowful cries, as if the past is desperately trying to speak again, to recount its tragic tale. Some dismiss these accounts as mere superstition, the tricks of the wind playing over the water. Others, however, believe it is the collective memory of the lake itself, forever imprinted with the city's last moments. But one thing is certain, Fayoum remains a mirror, a shimmering surface reflecting not only the sky above, but also the spectral world of what lies beyond sight. Amid the vast and unforgiving expanse of the western desert, Siwa stands like a sacred secret that has survived the relentless march of time. It is an oasis of emerald palms and crystalline springs, a sanctuary protected by the endless sea of sand. It was here, to this remote outpost, that Alexander the Great, the conqueror of the known world, came seeking not more territory, but to know who he truly was. He entered the oracle temple of Amun with the questions of a mortal king, and left with the conviction of a divine being. The ancient stones of the temple still seem to echo with those profound questions that were never fully answered for the rest of humanity, holding the weight of a destiny that reshaped history. Locals, descendants of those who witnessed Alexander's pilgrimage, say the energy of Siwa is unlike any other place on earth. It is a palpable force, a quiet hum that resonates deep within the soul. They believe that those who enter the temple with pure hearts and open minds can hear footsteps not their own, the spectral presence of priests and prophets who once walked its sacred halls. And Cleopatra's spring, that eternal, bubbling pool whose temperature changes with the time of day, carries stories of healing and renewal. Its waters are said to wash away not just the dust of the desert, but the weariness of the spirit, as if it still remembers the world's first dawn and holds the promise of rebirth. In Dendera, the walls don't just tell stories of pharaohs and gods. They lift your gaze to the infinite heavens, to the cosmos itself. Its magnificent ceiling, one of the best preserved in all of Egypt, is adorned with intricate constellations and celestial figures. This was no mere decoration. It was said to be a cosmic language, a sacred map used by the high priests to communicate with the stars and understand the universe as divine order. Those who walk through its grand hypo-style halls often speak of an uncanny calm that descends upon them, a profound sense of peace, as though the very stones recognize their presence and offer a silent, ancient blessing. Here, in the deepest, darkest chambers of the temple, ancient rituals were performed away from the light of the sun, calling upon powers drawn directly from the cosmos. Priests, cloaked in shadow, would chart the movements of distant galaxies to predict the fate of the kingdom and channel celestial energies. Modern scientists look at the Dendera zodiac and call it a brilliant achievement of early astronomy, a precise sky map of its time. The ancients, however, knew it by another name. They called it magic, the art of weaving the threads of destiny between the earth and the sky. In Abydos, the hallowed city of Osiris, god of the underworld, death sleeps, and the promise of immortality awakens. For millennia, this was one of the most sacred sites in Egypt, a place of pilgrimage where pharaohs and commoners alike journeyed, seeking the god's secret of resurrection. It is said that the temple complex contains 7 symbolic gates, each one a spiritual threshold leading the soul closer to the afterlife, a path from the mortal world to the eternal fields of reeds. The entire city was built as a bridge between life and eternity, its purpose to conquer the finality of death. Yet what truly bewilders modern scholars and fuels endless speculation are the mysterious carvings discovered in the Temple of Seti. Etched high upon a stone lintel are shapes that bear an uncanny resemblance to helicopters, submarines, and what appear to be modern aircraft. Mainstream experts explain them as a palimpsest, a result of overlapping hieroglyphs that were carved, plastered over, and recarved, creating an accidental illusion. But for others, these images are undeniable proof of forgotten knowledge, a record of a lost advanced technology, or perhaps even evidence of visitors from beyond the stars. In Abydos, nothing is ever explained completely, and in the shadow of Osiris, nothing is dismissed entirely. Here, in the heart of Middle Egypt, was born the city of Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom, writing, magic, and the moon. Hermopolis, or the city of Hermes as the Greeks later called it, was once the spiritual and intellectual laboratory of ancient Egypt. It was a place where priest scholars studied the hidden sciences, deciphered cosmic laws, and performed sacred rites designed to maintain the delicate balance of the universe and keep the forces of chaos at bay. It was the epicenter of a faith built not just on worship, but on knowledge. Legends, passed down through whispers and fragmented texts, speak of a secret subterranean library buried deep beneath the sands of Hermopolis. This was not a library of ordinary papyri, but one filled with forbidden scrolls and the legendary. Books of Thoth texts said to contain spells and incantations, capable of reshaping reality itself, granting power over the elements and even life and death. At its heart lies the primeval myth of the cosmic egg, from which the Abydos, the 8 creator deities, and the entire universe were born, a powerful symbol of beginnings that never truly end, forever pulsating with creative potential just beneath the earth. Walk among the sun-scorched ruins of el-Amarna, and the very air feels heavier, charged with a profound and lingering sorrow. It was here that the heretic pharaoh Akhenaten built his magnificent city. Akhenaten, a gleaming capital raised from the desert floor in obsessive devotion to his one true god, the Aten, the disk of the sun. In doing so, he defied Egypt's ancient and powerful pantheon, erasing the names of other gods and plunging the empire into religious turmoil. But when Akhenaten died, his revolutionary city was abandoned almost as swiftly as it rose. Its temples dismantled, its statues smashed, as if erased from history by unseen vengeful hands. Some say the restless spirits of Akhenaten and his queen, Nefertiti, still roam the silent, desolate streets, forever bound to the city they created, seeking a peace they never found in life or in death. Their ultimate fates remain one of history's greatest enigmas. Despite decades of searching, their mummies remain missing, their tombs either undiscovered or lost forever. It is as though the earth itself, in judgment of their heresy, chose to keep their secrets, preferring an eternal silence over a final revelation, leaving their story hauntingly incomplete. The 6 enchanted cities of Egypt live on, half in the solid realm of history, half in the ethereal world of myth. They are spectral landmarks on a map of what was and what might have been. Perhaps there are no curses, no ghosts, no sunken worlds or messages from the stars, only the deeper, more profound magic of endurance, of memory etched into stone and sand. For Egypt, even in its deepest silence, still speaks. It speaks in the whispers of the wind sweeping through abandoned colonnades and in the reflections on a sacred lake. Each city is more than just a ruin of stone and mortar. It is a gate to another time, another world, a different understanding of reality, still whispering to us across the millennia. Seek truth in the shadows, for light alone will never be enough.